everybody, welcome to Soundcheck with Kronos. I'm your host John. I got a goodie for you today. So as guitarists, we have a lot of toys to play with. We have guitars, we have amps, we have pedals, we have just everything under the sun to play with to get the sounds. We have wet dry rigs, we have tube amps, we have solid state, we have DSP modelers now. Back when I started playing guitar in about 2003, we had Digitech stuff and some Boss modeling stuff, but everyone kind of wrote it off because it was kind of hot garbage back then. But nowadays, with the power of DSP processing and the power of modeling, we can get very convincing tones out of solid state power amps that in the past we had no way of doing. Now I'm in the very, very fortunate situation to have the DSP model of a certain amp and the real thing. So what I'm going to do today for you guys is A/B between a legendary tube amp that you might be able to see a little bit of behind me there and the DSP version by Neural DSP. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this legendary amp needs no introduction, but here we go anyway. This is the legendary Soldano SLO-100 100-watt head. This has been a dream amp of mine to own since I was a little kid listening to Mark Knopfler records and seeing him play a Soldano. The likes of Eddie Van Halen use them, Orianthi uses them these days, Jerry Cantrell, even BB King and Buddy Guy have used them in the past. So that can kind of tell you how versatile of an amp this really is. That versatility comes from a 4 6L6 or 5881 power section, a 4 12AX7 preamp, and the beefiest transformers you've ever seen in an amp period. Like, these things are freaking bricks. They're massive. Now, all of this versatility comes at a very hefty price tag. It's $4,000. And for most people, myself included, I thought this was out of reach for me. And to have it sitting here in the flesh and to be able to actually use it daily to record and track in the studio is absolutely unreal. And I can't be happier and I can't be more thankful for where I am in my life right now, where I can actually do this. But for a lot of people out there, it doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of people can't justify the $4,000 price tag, and I totally understand that. And that's where the power of Neural DSP's plugin comes in handy. The Neural DSP plugin, I think, is the best bang for your buck and the closest emulation you can possibly get to the real thing in your DAW or on your computer standalone. It is amazing. It is absolutely incredible. I own the plugin before I own the amp. The plugin is actually what made me want to get the amp. So what I'm going to do today is, for this comparison, I'm not going to run it through this 4x12. I'm going to run it through the Mesa Cabclone on top, which I'm going to run direct into Ableton. I'm going to trap using the exact same IRs that I'm going to load in to the Neural DSP version, so that way we get the closest possible comparison between the two amps. So, with that being said, let's get to some sound clips and kind of my thoughts on the matter. I think you guys will be surprised. So here's the setup I'm going to be running. 59 Murphy Lab Les Paul Custom, direct. Like, when I'm talking direct, I'm talking like right into the input of my RME UFX Plus, and that's going to go directly into Ableton with the plugin loaded. That's it. No post-production. I'm going to do zero compression, zero reverb. Everything is going to be 100% dry, so you guys get a very accurate representation of what's going on. So when you load up the Soldano, this is what you get. The head looks exactly like the one over there. You get stump boxes. You get a band EQ. You got cab emulation, but I'm going to turn this off and run my own custom IRs. And then delay, reverb. It's very versatile. So now that we got the IR loaded into the software, let's take a look at dialing up a tone. So I'm just going to dial up a crunch tone. First, I'm going to set everything to noon, because I tend to set everything at noon and then adjust from there. The only thing I'm going to leave is the preamp on the actual gain, so I can have that crunch but adjust the EQ accordingly. Right now I'm going to have the bright switch on because this is a somewhat dark guitar, so let's see what we have just straight out. So now that we got a bass line, let's kind of adjust. I feel like we need a little bit more bass, a little bit more a little bit less treble, a little bit more mid. And then I want it to kind of punch in the gut, so I'm gonna add some depth. And then I'm gonna go pretty high on the depth, and then just a 6 on the presence. Let's see what we have now. So that's a good crunch tone for me. Yeah, sounds good. So now let's try to match that same tone on the 100-watt head. Now for this section, all I'm doing, there's going to be no effects on this board turned on. We're going to run into the Soldano head, into this cab clone, which is on the same exact cab, the exact same one that's loaded on the plugin. I'm going to try to match the settings that I had in there and see if there's any difference first. Then I'm going to try to match even closer, see if I can get any closer to the plugin version by tweaking the EQ, because this, remember, it's analog, so it's not going to, on the same dial position, it's not going to sound the same as the plugin version, because they were probably modeling off of one particular unit. So, and that's going to run directly into, again, into my interface, bounce into Ableton. That's it. Alright, so I have the gain matched on the Soldano. I have everything, or I have the EQs matched on the Soldano. Same exact cab emulation, the 4x12 basket weave with an M75, a vintage voice. So let's kick it on and see how it sounds. So now what I'm gonna do, because I think I got it close, I dialed back the depth a little bit on the head. I think the depth does more. I dialed up the presence because it was lacking a little bit of top end, and dialed in some more treble and out some bass. So I kind of got it in the realm. I know it's not going to be perfect, but this is as close as my ear can get it pretty quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to A-B the two back and forth now, playing the exact same riff, Hold On Loosely by 38 Special, and you guys can tell me which sounds better. So let's get started with it. So now really quick, I'm going to dial up an overdriven tone on the overdrive channel, and then I'm going to try to match it and do the exact same thing. So on the plugin, let's see what we've got here. Let's go to the overdrive channel. That's pretty good. A little more level. Alright, so now that I dialed up a tone using the overdrive setting, I'm going to try to match it and play the same riff, Night Train by Guns N' Roses, back to back. Here we go. So to end the video, I'm going to do a 30-second jam on each instrument on the same track, same settings, exactly what you heard with the overdrive settings. And I'm not going to tell you which is which. Leave it in the comments below which you think is which, and I'll answer it later. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Which one sounds better to you guys? Or is it worth $4,000 to shell out for the head when you can buy the Neural DSP plugin for I think $100? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. My name is John.